Hey everyone, it's Amy here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you guys another love it or leave it review and swatches of a brand new product from Tarte that they completely surprised us about, which I'm sure was a total shock to you guys, but kind of not a surprise at the same time because every time Tarte takes all the big YouTubers tripping with Tarte, we get new products. So we should have known when they all went to Bora Bora that it was going to be pretty exciting. So this was the second item that they released, and this is the TARTIS Pro Glow Palette. And I was so excited about this because let me show you what this beautiful palette looks like. It is gorgeous, and it's very interesting and cool and like outside of Tarte's comfort zone as well. They made it like this little book that opens up and has mirrors on both sides, and then here is the beautiful palette. And it's not just a highlighter palette, it's a highlight and contour palette. You get 4 highlighters or strobing powders. You get a cream and a powder highlight. Like, look at this palette, it is so gorgeous. So let me go ahead, tell you a little bit about the palette, where you can purchase it, the price, what it contains, all that stuff, and then we will get into the swatches. And just so you guys know, it does have a material on here that's very much similar to Lorac Pro palette, so it is gonna unfortunately get dirty, but it is such a cool palette. I'm so glad they did something different with like the book opening versus just a basic palette. I think that was really cool. So it is available only on Tarte's website right now. However, Tarte has been answering questions pretty frequently over these new products on Instagram, and they did say it's going to be available at other retailers. We don't know what other retailers yet, but I'm sure Sephora, Ulta, things like that. So I'm sure we'll hear about it soon, but it currently is still in stock and available on Tarte's website. Again, it's the TARTIS Pro Glow Highlight and Contour Palette. It retails for $45. So for the cream contour, you get a total of 4.7 grams, and then each of the powders are 5 grams. So giving you guys a reference, the new Tarte Exposed Highlighter is 5.6 grams, so a little bit more than each of those highlighters, but for $28. And we're getting 5 of those powders at 5 grams. So overall, I think it's priced really well for the amount of product you get in here for $45. And also, just so you guys know, it is made in the USA. So again, this is what the palette looks like. It's gonna be hard not to like blind you guys with the way this is set up, but I will tell you what each of these shades are and their undertones as I go ahead and swatch them. Then I will also compare them to 2 other products that I have from Tarte just as a reference, a highlighter and a contour powder. So the first highlighter shade that we have up here is called Lit, which is a champagne highlight. Then we have Strobe, which is a pearl highlight. And what I like about this palette is there is a little bit of something for everyone. Like Strobe is going to be best for those fair skin tones. These 2 right here are great for anyone. And then this darker one would be great for those medium and deeper skin tones. Now the contour powders are on like the medium range. So I'm not positive, obviously being, you know, the skin color that I am, being a light to medium, I can tell you how they work on me. I'm not positive, but it does look like this might be dark enough for those deeper skin tones. That is good. Not so sure about the highlighter, but I do think the cream will work. So I do think this palette has a little bit of something for everyone. Again, Strobe is the pearl highlight. Then we have Fire, which is the bronze highlight, which I think is going to work on the darker skin tones. Then we have Stunner, which is an opalescent highlight. So let's go ahead and swatch these. This one was Lit, this one was Strobe, then we had Fire, and then we had Stunner. Look how beautiful those shades are. They are gorgeous. They feel very much like the Exposed Highlighter, like very silky, creamy, buttery. They do have a little bit more of a powderiness when you first like swatch them and when you pick them up with a brush, but once you actually apply them, they apply the same as the other Exposed Highlight, and they just have a beautiful foiled finish, really smooth and soft. So I'm excited to say they are really good formula like the Tarte Exposed Highlighter. I know we were all excited about this. We're like, ooh, are there more highlighters to come? And sure enough, there was. So let me go ahead also and swatch Tarte Exposed next to these shades just so that you guys can see the difference. Here it is. As you guys could tell, there was absolutely no kick up, so I do think these are a little bit more powdery than in here. I don't know if it's because they tend to have very hard pressed colors when they're in the compact versus like this is a different shaped compact. I have no idea if it has anything to do with it, but I find anytime Tarte puts products in the circle compacts, they tend to be very hard pressed. So here is what it looks like as well compared to the other shades. Exposed is right there. You can tell it's a little bit more champagne and slightly different than all the colors in this palette, which is good. They did not make a duplicate of anything. Still really great formula, just like I said, a little bit more powdery compared to Tarte Exposed. We have Sculpt, which is the sculpting powder, and then we have Shade, which is the contour cream. So we'll go ahead and swatch these. And they are really nice, kind of neutral, leaning on the verge of a cool tone shade, which I personally like because that's just my preference to always have a cool tone. But the cream contour is really creamy, like really, really creamy. You definitely don't have to press too hard into the pan, and you can see right now it blends out really easily. Same with the powder. It's really nice. I love the Amazonian clay powder formula, which is really nice. So comparing that to another Tarte bronzer I have, this is the Park Avenue Contour Palette Volume Number 2. So I just wanted to compare that for you guys, what the contour powder in here looks like. And you can tell it's definitely lighter compared to the new powder shade. Both of them have a really nice formula, but you can tell there is a little bit of a shade and like tone difference between the two. So again, good that they're not duplicating. But as far as the cream contour goes, I did use the cream contour today, and I used my new Real Techniques little sculpting sponge. And I actually didn't use it wet. You can, but I find the sponge actually works better being not wet or very, very slightly damp. So I used it dry, and this is what it looked like. It was really easy to blend out and do, and then I went ahead on top of it and set it with the Sculpt powder, and I think it just makes a really nice contour. You can definitely really build it up, or you can definitely scale it back by using very little product and spreading it out. So if you have very, very fair skin tones, I think you can still make these two shades work. Even though they're darker, especially the cream contour, I still think you can make it work. Just take less product and spread it on more space so that you can kind of thin it out. And then on the reverse side, if you're darker, I think you can build these up really nicely. And they dry to a really nice powdery formula. So I was really impressed with this shade. It wasn't too oily. It wasn't too drying. It's definitely really creamy and easy to build up, really easy to blend out. Really impressed by that. And then I'm not surprised that the shade powder is really great as well. So overall, the new Tardis Pro Glow Palette is definitely a love it. I think it's priced right. I think the quality is good. I think the quality is slightly different than the Exposed Highlight, being that it's a little bit more powdery, but once you apply it, it's really nice and really pretty and applies just like Exposed does. I use many different brushes. You can use a dense brush or you can use a fluffy brush. I used a fluffy Morphe 501 today, and this is what it looks like and how intense it looks with a fluffy brush. So you can definitely use it with different brushes, and I just think they're beautiful shades. It's a really nice kit. You have a lot of variety in here as far as the different tones. I love that they did something unique with the actual packaging, as well as putting some contour, powder, and cream in here. I just think overall it's a really great palette, great value, great quality. Highly would recommend it to you guys if you're interested. Hopefully it comes, I'm hoping, to Sephora. That way during the Sephora sale, and maybe you guys could pick it up 20% off. But if not, I definitely would pick it up regardless. The Tardis Pro Glow Palette is definitely a love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review and swatches, and if you did, give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay tuned to all my upcoming videos, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!